It's a hashtag feud, the tension brews, opinions clash like unstoppable views. A digital brink where patience shatters with each post and each fiery scatter. Just retweets, clashes and echoes of grins. They say that the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, mine's a keyboard. So go to war if that's what makes you feel alive. I'll take it personally, but won't take it offline. It's like a drug, it's poison in my mind. My thumb is the trigger, and I've got you in my sights. And if it's all part of God's plan, I'd like to have a word with him. I'm not a fan, so take me to war. I hope it makes you feel alive. I'll take it personally, but won't take it offline.
Butcher knife steps in, wearing my man bun, thinking I'm a G-man, dreaming the pig pen. Nobody has fun until I'm done. Bro, butcher knife steps son, wearing my man bun, another restraining order. Scum, bro, bro. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow, it's like oh my god, that was weird. It was like, well, I don't know why I'm hearing myself twice. Hold on, let me see. All right, I am having feedback. Okay, that's better. No, it's not. Hold on, let me find out what's going on here. Oh my god, I was on my own show. That's weird. Okay, I realized what happened. Oh, hi, Matt Taylor from Brighton. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I know who you are. Yeah. All right. So, this show, obviously, you can see who is in the on it, right? I mean, it's David Shurter. What do I got going on the banner here? Sorry, I'm kind of discombobulated right now. I got a lot going on. I'm in the finals of school happening, and a lot of things on my plate at the moment. But as you can see, I was saying I wasn't sure if I was going to stream uh, this week at all, but David Shurter made a video today that was so I noticed some things about it, and I want to point it out. I want to point out what I noticed. And he said some very unusual things. For example, as you can see in the screenshot on this video, that Thomas Schoenberger was the most intelligent person. Like, mainly out of all of us, like Thomas Schoenberger was the most intelligent. I also noticed that he was reading from a script this time. And it was like somebody had given him bullet points and and ways of speaking. His eye glances down. So we're going to analyze his video now. Just to keep you up to speed about who David Shurter is, if you're not sure who David Shurter is, because I do have new subscribers on the channel and they may not know. I'm not sure, those subscribers are here because of like David Shurter. Matter of fact, I suspect that they're not. There might be some people that have tuned in because of it, but this channel is not dedicated to David Shurter. It is not about David Shurter, and it never has been about David Shurter. I started Not My Rabbit Hole back in 2020 when COVID was happening, and I originally started it on Spotify, and it was just going to be like a place for, I am a stand-up comedian. It was a place for me to rant my ideas, just get up in the morning or whenever I wanted to, talk about something and just let myself freeform on my thoughts. And but it turned into something else. It became my main channel, and I do have a blog that goes with this, but I haven't written on it, which I need to do here in real soon. But David Shurter has cropped up in my stratosphere. A couple of years ago, he made a video calling me a Nazi pedo child protector. That something like that was in the title. What David Shurter and I have in common is Max Spears, of all people. And Max is somebody that I had interviewed, and that's why a lot of people sometimes come and visit my channel, because it circles back to Max and things that I was involved with in a previous online life when I was a radio host for Revolution Radio and America Freedom Radio. And Max has become a pinnacle in some of the discussion that people will say is conspiracy. Some people say some of it's true because we have Jeffrey Epstein situation. But it became a paradigm in the far right wing politics here in the United States, and then also spilled over into Australia and the UK and everything like this. A lot of it involves child trafficking and that situation. And for me as a person, when I thought about Not My Rabbit Hole, it was like, this isn't my rabbit hole, because not to say that I don't believe that these things are happening. Obviously they are. Child trafficking is a real thing. But what I've seen happen is sprout up all these different kind of players that become like these fringe media or alt media. Maybe fringe isn't the right word, but they become these, known people, anchors of this type of activity, and or they become influencers, like Angel Power Disney in the UK, or now she's in Ireland. But she's one of those people that came out of, like, let's say, conspiracy or UFO conspiracy channels like the Basis Project with Miles Johnston, or with other things. And David kind of has been in that mix as well, because those platforms opened up to the idea that there was an elite child trafficking operation taking place. Okay, so David Shurter came onto my radar 2 years ago by Arturo Tafoya, who's also been involved with the Cicada 3301 puzzle. He was, Laura Dilley's professor did the research paper on the 17th letter of the alphabet. He was in a relationship with her. They had a falling out. And he's also involved with Thomas Schoenberger and has links to Thomas Schoenberger. He told me when he was saying that he was going undercover to investigate Thomas Schoenberger and was only pretending to be with Thomas Schoenberger, he told me that David Shurter was going to start to attack me. And that it was like a plan within that group of people, the Thomas Schoenberger, shadow box-esque group of people. Thomas Schoenberger used to be part of a reputation management company, which was, mentioned in the Daily Beast article. And it was about psychological or guerrilla type psychological warfare on people. And I believe that a version of this, because of my own experience, is still happening. I realize that Shadowbox is no longer a business, although Thomas touted about a year ago of giving Shadowbox to hoax, Daniel Ryan Columbus. Okay. And, all this stuff has been going on. Well, recently, lately, the list of people grew as to, we were guilty of killing Isaac Cappy. We were child traffickers. And, for a while, David was talking about me, Geo Farnsworth. First, it was Geo Farnsworth, Daniel Dowd, and Corey Daniel. And then it grew to be me. And then it grew to be Sewertown. And then it grew to be DeFango. And then it grew to be Gabe Hoffman. And it just so happens that all of the names that I have, named right now are on the list of Thomas Schoenberger, as well as Thomas Schoenberger possibly taking out, he's tried to sue some of us. And, it's involved with a litigation lawsuit with Laura Dilley and Michigan State University. So those are the dynamics of what's taking place there. So David Shurter, and I haven't made a video. It's been almost a week. I clipped a clip out of a previous video, and which I read from one of David's books, Confessions of an Antichrist, where he describes actually attacking an acquaintance of his mother or stepmother. I think it's the person Joanne that he's mentioning in this video. And he held a knife at his neck, and he threatened to slit him from ear to ear if he made a move. And then the guy was eating chili, and the chili fell in his chest, and he broke down in tears. This is what David Shurter wrote. And it's on my channel right now. And that triggered him so hard. Well, it was the night before that he started going off on me, saying that I was part of the 764 cult. And other people the day before Thanksgiving. But on Thanksgiving Day, he went off on me so hard on Thanksgiving, and it's been nonstop since then. And he said heinous things Like, I'm so manly. Why don't I put a strap on and, bang Thomas Schoenberger in the cornhole? Those weren't his exact words. I actually am softening what he said. So imagine what what the real words were. One of them was a swear word with a letter F in front of it. And he said this not only once, but repeatedly, over and over and over again. He has also said the city I live in over and like 4 or 5 times in one or two videos. He kept mentioning about, what do you think, I'm going to come on a plane and go to, blank, well, where I live at. He has written things on his blog about me being a porn star, which I'm not, or that I have anything to do with Barely Legal, which includes today. He is continuing to perpetuate this lie that originally generated from Thomas Schoenberger. The whole week, he has been pushing, this, I'm involved with Thomas Schoenberger, we're all involved with Thomas Schoenberger, and he is, we need to be investigated. We need to have these things happening to us. I must love Thomas Schoenberger so much that I'm going to put on a strap on and bang him in his cornhole. Why don't you just do that over and over and over again? Yet today, he's obviously reading from a script, and he is praising Thomas Schoenberger, saying that he's the most intelligent person. And on that note, let's get this party started.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Caught in a rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Caught in a rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.
All right, welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole, and I'm going to do a screen share now of David Shurter. And hi, Aiken and Seren. Nice to see you here this morning. Well, it's morning here. It might be afternoon wherever everybody else is. I don't know. It could be in the middle of the night. And by the way, I saw Seren ask you, do you ever sleep?
That's what.
All right, so here we go, and he's I think he says he's wearing his wizard hat, his sorcerer hat, since we're all witches apparently. I'm not actually. I mean, I do have no, I have studied a bit. I do have esoteric knowledge, but I have chosen not to be a witch for my own spiritual purposes. So I don't mean that in a snobby way, but I do have an understanding of if anybody's practicing witchcraft or any type of spell casting and he brags about it, it's David Shurter himself, and yet he's got this attitude or wants to have judgment about people practicing, having pagan practices and divination. Okay, he's a hypocrite.
All of this is about. My name is David Shurter. I've been trying to expose my family's involvement with the child trafficking operation. I was working with Isaac Cap.
Now he has to reintroduce himself, and that's something that I do. I've been starting lately. I feel like he mimics me. Like all of a sudden you'll do something, and then David Shurter incorporates it into his, performance art or whatever. I do reintroduce things to people because I really do have a reach that isn't just this. And I know that there are some people are starting to look at this or find me for different reasons. So I always try to give a brief background of what they're looking at and understanding what we would consider this world to be. You just can't start off and start talking about this and showing it, not have people understand who David Shurter is, an alleged satanic ritual abuse survivor that wrote a book called Rabbit Hole in 2012 that was published by a small publishing company that his husband owned. Okay, so that's his story, and he's been on several platforms talking about, including Lift the Veil. All right, he's associated, to Isaac Cappy and Fiona Barnett and all that whole thing. That this is David Shurter.
Before they murdered Isaac Cappy, and now I want to bring a bunch of information that I have been compiling for a while now and share it. And this...
So this is the setup. This is information that he's been compiling for a while that he's going to share. This feels so scripted to me. As if he and Thomas Schoenberger and maybe Brian Ward got together, or let's throw Titus in there, and they whipped up something for David to come back and rebrand another attack on all of Thomas Schoenberger's enemies. This to me, this is exactly what's happening. And you know what?
Even though I know
David is not just some crazy person. He's actually in on this abuse. He's aware of what he's doing. He's a big phony. That's what I feel is happening here. This is my notes, David. This is the things that I've been writing down. How about that? That you're a big fake, part of a psychological warfare built by Thomas Schoenberger. You're a freaking tool, David. That's what I think you are.
That Corey Daniel and my stepmother Joanne Shurter and Terry Joyce and Gabe Hoffman are all going to watch this. This is a video for investing.
Oh, you bet we're watching. And let me just specify something to this. This is a video for other people to investigate and assess and be analytical about. David, who do you think what do you think the world is? Your ardent followers or something? It's not.
Gators, you need to know what I know. And I'm wearing my magician's hat.
Oh yeah, his magician's hat.
Because
he's everybody else is a witch and not him.
Fancy themselves these great magicians. Here, let me turn on this light. They fancy themselves these great sorcerers. So I thought I'd wear my sorcery hat.
No, you fancy yourself a great sorcerer, David. You said it over and over all week about what you were going to do to you. You casted you cursed me spiritually on your channel last week, as if you're this big sorcerer or big shaman working for God. That's what you've been doing. I don't want to hear about it.
So
look, do you see? He looked at his script. His eye went down. Go back again.
So I thought I'd wear my
Look, I'm an actor. I know how this works, David.
sorcery hat just for them.
Oh,
So-
there's my script. There's my Thomas Schoenberger notes.
Gabe Hoffman is worth $100 million.
What, did Brian Ward give you what you wanted, David? Did he give you a big donation or something that you were begging for? I'm just curious. What happened to Brian Ward?
And he has a hedge fund. That's what he has his money in.
So, first thing out of the gate, he looks down in his script. Oh, he discovered this. He's been compiling this all this time. And talks about how Gabe Hoffman has a $100 million hedge fund. Uh-huh.
And he's funding Corey Daniel and Sewertown.
There he goes again. He's got to make sure he got that right. Because you know what, David? If you've been compiling it, you wouldn't need to look at your script this much. I'm just saying. You're not that well rehearsed. Your hat does not make you look like you're a professional actor.
His hedge fund is called Accipiter
He's reading it again.
Capital. ACCIPITER. If I was an investigator, I might want to look at this hedge fund and see what everything they're all involved with. Because if he's worth $100 million, and when you hear all of this that I'm going to report, you may want to look into it. Caveat with this.
Who's your source? Because you know what? David Shurter tried to use a source against Gabe Hoffman that was a white nationalist and an anti-Semite named Travis LeBlanc, right, David? With Kiwi Farms, the hate group that was taken off Cloudflare. And then you want to run around and call people Nazi satanic pedos? This is a joke, David. Now you got to look down at your notes.
They want to set each other up, and they're all trying to use me to do it. So this all needs to be investigated, not taken at face value. If you are if you're involved with the law, you need to look into what I'm saying, not just take it for face value, because they're going to try and use me to set each other up. The reason why I'm going to report all of this is because there's truth. Truth in when they're trying to set each other up.
I mean, come on. If that's not a clown, I don't know what is.
They're trying to set each other up with the truth. Oh, by the way, Corey, I wore a bow tie that I made myself. I hear that you like it up the ass. That you and a
Oh my God. Is this not like weird and awful? Like, seriously. And by the way, I hear that you like to blank. I mean, like, as if he has a right to judge what people like up their butt.
Alicia Ray are in a swingers thing. And just your issue, Corey, is not me. People loved Isaac Cappy, and they hate you because they blame you for murdering Isaac. And why do they blame?
And who are these people? All right, that is a bandwagon logical fallacy maneuver right there. Who are these people that hate Corey Daniel? Who? Let's like, can you give an example of that, David? You can't.
Blame you for murdering Isaac because you brag about it. To anyone who will listen, you brag about murdering Isaac.
And that's a go-to excuse that David uses all the time. It's like, well, how do they know? Because you brag about it. He's accused me of bragging about, like, breaking into Social Security. I've never bragged about doing anything to his Social Security or his disability.
And they hate you for it. And they want to see you brought down. But with that said, let me continue.
I know Thomas Schoenberger wants to see him brought down, David. I know that for sure. Are you talking about those people? The people that surround Thomas Schoenberger? Like you? Huh? Accepting his emails and Brian Ward's emails in the middle of the night and then redoing it and then acting like a victim? Yeah, okay. We've got proof of that. I have proof of that. Let me take everybody else out of the equation, but I see other people's work too.
Corey Daniel, from what I understand, is instructing Terry Joyce to act like she is a little victim and she's terrified of me so that they could get a restraining order.
Let me explain something to you, David Shurter. Nobody instructs me to do anything. Nobody instructs me to do anything. I'm not like you. Apparently, that's how you are, so you project that onto everybody else. I am my own woman with my own mind. Trust me. Nobody controls me, David.
So she can get a restraining order on me.
No, I want protection against you. And I have a right to, there are reasons, legitimate reasons why I need one. And that you've done all week, David Shurter, all week.
To do anything they can to prevent me from paying the property taxes that I owe on my house.
You know what? And let me just inform people that might be tuning in. He's not the only one I'm going to seek a protection order against. Trust me.
And that's what they're trying to do. Of course, if this goes to court, I'm going to point out that Tara Joyce has an ulterior motive, and she's not a victim. She's been attacking me.
So what? Did Thomas give you a deal? If this goes to court, they're going to find out that Terry Joyce is not. She's a conspiracy. Blah blah. And did Thomas Schoenberger blow some smoke up your ass to give you promises of a cut of his court case? Is that what happened, David? You think you're going to get a droplet of money from it? Is that your motivation? I'm just curious. Because we know you don't do a video hardly without asking for a fucking donation.
For 2 years. So they have this really bad dude working with them named Brett. I bet his last name is Brett Trimble. I've actually had to deal with him. He's telling everybody how he walks with the devil.
There he goes, looking at a script again. I got to look at my script.
And I guess that Corey Daniel thinks that I'm the one influencing Thomas, not the other way around. Neither one of us are influencing each other. We despise each other. However, if my information helps Thomas bring you down, more power to him.
Okay, there it is. That's the admittance right there. That's the underlying little message. If my information helps Thomas Schoenberger, because Thomas Schoenberger's threatening lawsuits on all of us. That's what this is all about right now. You're still in communication with Thomas Schoenberger. You think you're going to get something because I'm going to take legal. I'm looking to protect myself against you and Thomas Schoenberger. Bait us on your channel. You're involved with this, David. You're a deceitful person. And I'm going to say this to you. This is my opinion. Anybody who is concerned about children and their well-being, someone like David Shurter takes the legitimacy out of that argument. Because they go, oh yeah, you mean like what happened at with the pizza parlor Or like what happened with, oh, is it some Alex Jones stuff? Or is this, like David Shurter, meaning the phony David Shurter, who's falsely accusing of innocent people of crimes they never committed because he's that dishonest? He is a disservice to the topic. A disservice. He's a ringer. He is a tool, a Judas goat. Because you know what a Judas goat really is? It's the goat that wears the bell to make the other goats follow them off the cliff. That's what David Shurter is doing. He is not legitimate, and he's associated himself with Thomas Schoenberger. David lost me at Defango. Like, what is Defango doing in all of a sudden Defango was added to everything. It's so obvious what is happening here.
Even though I am 99.999% sure that he's involved with this as well.
I gotta look down at my script again. My eyes, because I'm scripted. I'm wearing my little magician hat. And I got my bow tie on.
Corey, it is probably not in your best interest to go tell everybody that you're selling Isaac Cappy gear. It's probably not in your best interest to try and devise so that you can take people on a tour of where Isaac Cappy went off that bridge. They hate you. They blame you for Isaac Cappy because you were...
That's not what Corey does, David, and you have no proof of that. That is so sick. Who thought that up? You? Is that from your imagination? Or is it Thomas Schoenberger? Or is it Brian Word?
Involved with his murder. Flat out. You were involved with this murder. And so
I gotta look at my script.
And also
I'm looking again.
Not the one who caused your colitis, dumbass. I'm not omnipotent. I know you think you are, but I am not. You got colitis because you have a guilty disposition.
Okay, and whenever somebody keeps talking about somebody having some sort of disease, that is a form of spell casting. They want you to develop the disease yourself. That's why they keep saying it over and over again. I mean, he is wearing his wizard hat, right?
And the guilt is eating you alive. But that's what happens to frickin' criminals. Eventually, they're caught. But you're a researcher. And you've been involved, with the occult for 13 years? And your wife, Alicia Ray, that you're in a swinger relationship?
And you brag about being trained by Michael Aquino, and you act like you have the authority to abuse people with that. So, David, you're no different of what you're accusing.
She calls herself the Sicilian witch. What, you can't cast spells on yourself to protect yourselves? Not a very effective sorcerer, are you?
I opened up my script again.
Joanne,
his stepmother, who was, who had a restraining order on him for hovering over her head with a butcher knife. That stepmother, that's who he's gonna attack now.
I never said you didn't get a restraining order on me. You did get a restraining order on me. What I'm saying is you didn't get what you wanted. You wanted to use that restraining order to prevent the publication of my book and to take down my blog. But let me explain something to you, mommy. Since Dad has died, have wanted to find a way to bring you down in the worst way and couldn't figure it out. Now you have completely associated yourself and enmeshed yourself in a group that I can bring down. So I get to vis-a-vis bring you down along with them. I can't say thank you enough. Because, sweetie, you're fucked and don't even realize how fucked you are. And you did it to yourself.
I gotta leave it script now.
Oh, another thing. Remember when I talk about the Tara Joyce is involved with this group? They're barely legal porn producers. Guess who runs the barely legal porn production? Jesse Davis's wife. That's who runs the barely legal. And Jesse Davis says, my wife.
Oh my God, this is just absolutely ridiculous. You know what Thomas has said? This smells of Thomas Schoenberger's idea. This is called Discordianism. It's called chaos. They do it on purpose. As a matter of fact, I've been researching the Game 23, and boy, is that interesting. Game 23. And one of the running themes of that game, an ARG game, which, by the way, has associations to Cicada 3301. Yeah, it does. Anyway, yeah, that game is all about chaos and discordianism. And you know what? There's an article that it was published in some sort of academia site. It was with Marcia Stockton and Thomas Schoenberger, and they I don't know, divine chaos or something like that. They're into creating chaos for possibly. I mean, they think that chaos causes good, right? This is all chaos right here. Nobody knows which way is up. Just make whatever we want up out of it. It doesn't matter if it's true. Obviously, this guy wearing the stupid hat doesn't think it's true. His wizard hat, right?
Wife is a grown ass.
I mean, he must. I'm saying he must think it's true. I don't think he does. It doesn't matter to him either. The truth does not matter to David Shurter. He has no place being an advocate for people who abuse children, for trafficking children. He's no place because he's not an honest person. Problem with David Shurter, number one, is he's not honest. He's a liar.
Ass woman. Yeah, you ain't fucking filming the grown-ass woman, are you? You're filming the barely legal.
No, we're not filming barely legal people. And hey, let me just, again, I know he doesn't listen to my videos or whatever, but I know other people do. Barely Legal it's owned by Larry Flint of Hustler magazine. It's one of his, video companies. It's his franchise. And no, it is barely legal. They have to be legal because that kind of pornography is legal in the United States, David Shurter. And anybody I go to college. I'm an MFA graduate student. I work for the Collegian. I'm a senior reporter. I write art. You can see my articles that I published this week. I do not party with people in Las Vegas. There is no barely legal in Las Vegas. This whole thing is a lie. But here he goes with his quotation marks.
Children. You're getting them to have sex.
You're a sick person, David. Whoever writes this stuff and makes it up, your mind is the sick one, not mine.
But it's Jesse Davis's wife who supposedly runs that company. That Tara Joyce is seeking out children who are barely legal.
Wow. Let me look at my script again because I'm scripted by Thomas Schoenberger. Let me look at my notes because he promised me to be part of a lawsuit and I'm going to get a big payout for it. I'm in. I'm going to get my chunk. Maybe Brian Word couldn't give me 10 grand, but I made a deal because I'm going to get something off this bogus lawsuit that I'm not even in right now. Right, David? Oh my God, Thomas, am I intimidating a witness? David Shurter? He just said he would be a witness for you if he was able to take us down.
They're trying to do whatever they can to put restraining orders and lawsuits so that they can prevent me from paying the taxes on my house.
No, I want a restraining order against you because I'm tired of being attacked by you online and you freak me out. And yes, I am nervous and scared. Want to know another reason why? Is because I don't know what crazy is listening to you say these things about you while you repeat where I live at over and over. Who knows who's going to find me and do something to me? So basically, you put my life in danger by doxing my residence. David, that's why you're going to get a restraining order.
Online, publicly plotting against me for everyone to see. That's what they're doing. And why? Because they're child traffickers and they want to protect their child trafficking bullshit. That's why. That's why. That's why they're after me, because they don't want me to talk about Isaac Cappy. Well, I don't know why, Corey. You're just running around telling everybody how you murdered him, how you're this occultist, so powerful sorcerer. So does Daniel Dowd. He lives in his fucking mom's basement with his kid, smoking pot. Yeah, you're a fantastic sorcerer. You know? You guys are delusional is what you are. That's why I had to wear my little... And this is a Christmas hat. It's not a sorcery hat. I've had this hat for years. I bought it after Christmas years and years and years ago because it didn't sale and it was on 75% off. Why? Because it's not a Christmas hat. But it's not a...
And Christmas isn't really Christmas either. It's pagan, David. All right? It's not Christian. The Christmas tree and all of it, it's not.
Sorcery hat either. There's this woman named Sherry who's running around who's saying that she's...
I have to look at my script again, my little side eye, my little side glance at my script.
Manuel Chavez.
Like, I gotta look. See, he's looking down. I need to get DeFango's information correct. I got to make sure I repeat what Thomas Schoenberger told me.
Girlfriend, I wonder if that's the all-seeing ew that attacked me yesterday. I would be willing...
Why is Carrie in this now? Like, you know, it's like Carrie gets brought into every, you know, Thomas Schoenberger. Like, she's admitted to doing this, of like causing aggravation, getting in the middle of, this is what Carrie Wolf does. Now she's in the picture. Like I said, it's chaos. It's discordianism.
...to bed. They're all together.
I gotta look at my script.
They're all trying to pit Thomas Schoenberger and I against each other. And they're all upset because neither one of us are taking the bait. The reason why...
Why do you know that? Neither one of us are taking the bait. How would you know that? Where did you get that information from? Do you communicate with Thomas Schoenberger? I mean, just the other day you said you were on the phone with him and he was speaking in Egyptian. Why are you talking to Thomas Schoenberger on the phone, David? Can you explain that?
It's because, like I've said, Corey, the difference between Thomas Schoenberger and all of you is that Thomas Schoenberger actually has a brain in his head. And you guys are brainless. Just dumb ass drug addict.
I can't believe he just said that. Right? Thomas Schoenberger actually has a brain in his head, and the rest of us are brainless. Meanwhile, you know, Denise Mattau's doing a brainless quilt stitch. So, you know, they like to use these words over and over again. It's part of it's ritual defamation is what it is. What Denise Mattau is doing in the titles of her video is called dog whistling. Thomas does it too.
Criminals. They'd brag about your
Why
shit.
are you upholding Thomas Schoenberger and defending Thomas Schoenberger? Your actions do not make any sense, David.
Online. You ain't even that bright, obviously.
Yeah, you ain't that bright because you have to keep looking down at your script to remember what it says. See? How cognitive is your brain working, David? You can't memorize this shit by the next day?
Oh, and also Corey, as far as Sherilyn goes.
Oh, and also, I just remembered something. I got to do one more thing for Thomas Schoenberger.
We didn't eat out once. We ate out 3 times. She took me to Saigon the first time that we met. Then I took her to Sonic.
Oh my God. Anyway, so I'm going to skip towards the end because, it gets really bad down here. Lee takes his hat off, right? Okay, so let's, he talks about how, so he's going to take his hat off.
And I don't need a little sorcery hat to do it.
Let's go back a
I'm
little
going to
bit
bring
more.
who hate your ass.
Here we go.
I do have a lot to say, and it's not Isaac Cappy became despairing and ended up killing himself. This is the shit that people are telling me. See, the problem with you, Corey, is that there's just not one leaker. There's a whole bunch of people who hate your ass, and they want to bring you down for what you did to Isaac. And they couldn't figure out how to do it, but they're thinking I might have a way. And they're right. They're right. And I don't need a little sorcery hat to do it. I'm going to bring your asses down. Every fucking one of you. And that includes you, mommy, Joanne Shurter. Kathy doesn't know shit about my friends. Doesn't know shit about my friends. And you realize as Corey Daniel calls people, they're getting a hold of me and letting me know. That's how it works. You guys do whatever it is you need to do to try and shut me up and shut me down about your child trafficking operation. But it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And people are on top of you. And Gabe Hoffman is funding it all with his hedge fund. It's not that my stepmother doesn't have her own money. She stole my dad's money, you know? But on the other side, Joanne, Dad fucking hates you for what you put him through in the end. Heaven wants to bring you down too. I'm not a sorcerer. I'm a servant. Not a one of you would understand what that's all about. But I'm a servant. I serve heaven. By the way, there's no fucking doxing anybody on my shit. I don't care if they dox themselves.
You know what, David? Yeah, you have doxed people. You've doxed my legal name. You've doxed where I work at. I mean, you've doxed where I live at, the city I live in. You've said my legal name repeatedly over and over and over again. You've put it on your blog. And I'm not the only person you've done it to. Yes, you have doxed people.
Don't do it again. You know who you are. I'll fucking block your ass. I'm not playing those games. I don't play the same games. And I know that they're all...
You do exactly the same games, David. You are just like a Thomas Schoenberger minion. Absolutely. You are no different than Nasty Troll Media, really, except he doesn't put his camera on and show his face. You're no different than Titus Frost.
Trying to set me up any way they can. What I'm doing is getting a hold of investigators. People who are legal authority to actually do something. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Tara Joyce is...
Great. Bring it. Let them investigate me. I'm ready. Bring your people over to me and have them check me out because I'm ready to get this over with. I'll step up and be investigated. I have nothing to hide, David. Come investigate me. Call the FBI and get them to investigate me. I'm willing.
Running fucking kids for a barely legal porn production that's directly connected to Jesse Davis's wife. And you all seem to be closet cases. That John dude that's from Australia, who's married, he's fucking got...
I can't believe you're calling people closet cases, David. You are a gay man yourself. You should put your finger down. You have no right to be like criticizing people for their sexuality.
Guys. Corey Daniel, who's married to Alicia Owen, he's fucking guys. No wonder you guys hate me so bad. I can at least live my truth. I'm gay.
Yeah, and so what? You have no evidence of anybody's sexuality, just like you have no evidence of me like making barely legal porn, David. What you are saying is a level of defamation and harassment. And we do have some laws in place in the United States for your activities. And yes, you can be held accountable and there can be things filed against you, including you, Thomas Schoenberger, even though for some reason you think you've got some sort of carte blanche to abuse people on the internet. But I say you're a bit sloppy right now. Whoever you might be answering to should probably let you go because your glory days are over.
Gay? Been gay all my life. I can live my life. I can live my truth. These dumbasses just brag about the crimes that they do. They all need to be investigated. They need to be arrested, and they need to be...
You know who needs to be arrested? You, David Shurter. You have numerous restraining orders. You have actually been violent, not only on animals, but people in your past. I don't care what age you did it at. And you've actually, committed sexual assault. I don't care what age it happened at. You have a history of violence and abuse against people, and you're doing it online. And there are laws to protect people against predators like you on the internet, David Shurter. I'm done now.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in a rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control. Spinning wild on the stripper pole, laughing loud all for the lows. But baby, that's not my rabbit hole.